I saw you had posted a video, and I was like, I'm not watching.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to.
yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
watching
You
that.
you see, I ain't tag you in it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I also put spoilers ahead, so I was very
Right,
clear about what I was doing.
right.
Like, so people be like, "Oh man, it's a day." Like, yo, people just be posting spoilers rampantly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a more kinder, gentler channel. All right. Hey, what's up? It's Rashad, Antonio. We are the Upon Further Review, talking about the Penguin on HBO, episode 4, Chintani. All spoilers. Got to talk about a thing. Talk about a thing. And man, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I did not expect us to shift this hard in a flashback. Like, I like, because we already saw, like, in the trailers, we saw we gonna get the Falcone recast because your boy couldn't come back. What's dude's name?
John Turturro.
Yeah, Totoro couldn't come back,
Yeah.
aka the random dude from the Transformers who was part of N7.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
AKA do the right thing.
that it, oh my god, that is him,
And Mookie.
Tony. That you just blew my mind. That is him. Oh my god,
Sal's pizza son.
yo,
The one that hated Mookie.
man, that's a really good aside. All right, let's get back
Okay.
refocused. But yeah, I was not expecting this hard of a flashback, and I just want to say, man, like, I don't think outside of the video games, of course, which I don't play.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen, and like the small bit we saw at the end of the Batman when the Riddler was there,
Yeah.
never really shown the true depths and horrors of what Arkham Asylum really is. And we were just on the female side. We didn't even go to the dude side. Yo, like, Arkham is terrible
Yes.
on so many levels, man. Oh my God, Tony. Okay.
Arkham is on some Empire type stuff for real. The
Oh
Empire
yeah,
from
yeah. Oh,
Star Wars type.
oh yeah.
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 Yo. Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you
Yeah.
said, we never really seen we always was like, all right, they go to Arkham and they try to rehabilitate these people or whatever. But this movie, and even in the video games, they that I played, you know what I'm saying, those Batman games that came out within, like, the late 2010s and stuff, that are fantastic, by the way, storytelling and stuff. They never really go into depth of, like, how crazy that place is. But man, whew, yeah, it's a Arkham wild as hell. That's the best way I can explain it.
Fam. Like, it, man, they really, okay. I just want to shout out to who wrote this episode?
What this episode part?
Like, the way
Written
that,
by John McCutcheon.
man,
Yeah.
sir, Mr. Sir McCutcheon. I just want
Yeah.
to, I gotta give you a lot of respect how you constructed this episode.
Yes.
And just the way that you essentially gave us an origin story so sad, so tragic, that you have for,
Sympathy.
yeah, sympathy, and you also have flipped the show on its head,
Oh yes.
because the only real good, to be honest, the only good person we have to, is Sophie.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because she had to go to daggone Arkham, because she had to go to Arkham, she is now a terrible person too. The and Personally, I hate ambiguity. I do. I don't. I want something to be very clear. Be
Mm-hmm.
honest with me up front. I need to know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't play games with me. Don't
Mm-hmm.
straddle the fence.
Mm-hmm.
This show is straddling the fence so hard when it comes to people who you should trust, who you should
Oh,
like, who you should
oh,
dislike.
oh,
Like this is like
oh, yes.
I hate to compare it. This is Games of Thronesian type levels of everybody is bad. You need to pick who you feel you want to go with, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, God, man, we're gonna talk about it, man. But
I'm just saying, Tony. Like, oh,
I,
okay. I
let,
don't want to just do a beat by beat recap.
okay,
Let's
we got
okay. Let's
let's
talk,
let
Tony.
let's just set up the situation.
All
How
right,
we got to this point.
all right.
So we just pick up from the last episode, right before Vic, saves the penguin. We we see the conversation that is had that leads up to Oz and Sophia on their knees in front of Maroni's wife. In front of Maroni's wife. She basically rats Oz out and is like,
oh, oh,
yo.
oh, 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 oh. He ain't tell you.
Right. She's like, you think you can play with us like this? We know. And she's looking like, what the hell? What's going on? She's like, Oz, what is she talking about? What's it? And he was like, oh, he ain't tell you this and that. He told us to kill your brother and set up that and everything. And she looked, and you saw the transition from when she was starting to trust Oz, especially literally minutes beforehand. Oz gave this, impassionate speech about, hey, you know what? Yeah, I did. It was worth it. Look at me. I was just a lowly dude. I wasn't supposed to come at this. He says, but I swear to God, Sophia, I didn't think that he was going to do that to you. I didn't think he was going to put you in Arkham Asylum. And now that knowing what I know, I think Oz really didn't think that he was going to. That
I don't know. I
it's like,
mean,
I don't know. I want to believe that Oz didn't think that was going to happen, but
what did you think was gonna happen though?
right. I don't know, man. Whatever. So, we get to that point. That's when Vic comes, save the day, and all hell is breaking loose. Oz gets a body in the process. Is it me? Did he look like he killed? Did he kill Maroni's son, or he just took him out, or it kind of knocked him down?
Whoever was that person,
Uh huh.
he shot them.
Okay, yes, I think that was Maroni's son. That Maroni's son or whatever. So besides the point, because Mrs. Maroni, she spilled the beans. Oh, I knew you was trouble when you came to Blackgate prison and you saw Sophia and she started tripping balls for
Oh
real.
yeah,
She
yeah.
started tweaking and like she saw Oz like leave her and everything, and you even saw Maroni's wife and stuff get away, and she's just like and she's tweaking. And what does she do? She grabs her phone and she calls the only person that I guess she feels some type of trust with, and that was her psychiatrist that was in that we saw earlier on. I can't think of his name for nothing right now, but
yeah, episode 2.
yeah, he was in episode 2, which had that stuff going on. And she calls him and he's like, where are you? Where are you? And she's just like, and she's just having a mental break. And the next thing you know, we get our flashback. And like I said, I'm just setting this up. I'm not going
Yeah,
detail by
no, you
detail.
good, man. Like, cause I just, oh my God, Tony, I want to talk about Falcone
Yeah,
so bad.
right. So we get a flash. So we get a flashback to 10 years ago. We see Sophia. Sophia is looking nice. She's looking happy. She's looking like a stereotypical like debutante type chick. You know what I'm saying?
Good description.
Debutante type chick. Come from a family of means and everything. And they were like, and it's like that family says, hey, we're going to put you in charge of the foundation for mental health for women because your mammy basically hung herself. And then we find out that Sophia playing hide and go seek with Alberto when she was 9 years old. Mama, she found Mama's body hanging in the house in the Falcone in the Falcone estate or whatever. And so they're getting ready to leave. You see young Oz, and he's like there. You can see that they have a special relationship. Not no kind of like, oh, I'm in love with you type thing, but almost like he's a confidant for her, and she's protective of Oz that we see, even during this flashback. And she's just like, she's leaving, and he's like, yo, you did a great job. And she's like, thank Oz, whatever. She's like, I just ready to get out of here because I'm tired of doing these type of things. And what happened? A reporter rose up on her, was like, hey, Miss Falcone, you're doing a great job with this right here, but you can do so much better. And she's like, what are you talking about? She was like, yeah, all these women that have died, yeah, they worked at the iceberg lounge that your father owned. And she's like, what are you talking about? What that has to do with me? He's like, you can do better. And she's like kind of hounding her like a investigative reporter would hound somebody.
Very much so.
Me being in the business, and Rashad also studying journalism as well. That's how investigative reporters are. They hound people, and what I'm saying, they try to get quotes and trap people into saying some stuff that they ain't got no business saying. So she gives her a card or whatever, and Oz is driving her away, like, hey, don't worry about her. They go back home, and basically she is the golden child of Carmine Falcone, because Carmine looks at his son as a screw up. He's as a screw. It's like he wants to pass it to him, but he looks at this guy like a screw up. And they're having a dinner, and he leaves, and he's just like, man, whatever. And then he's like, look, Sophia, look, we're gonna break some tradition here. I want you to be next in line to take over the family. And she's like, oh my God, thanks, Pops, this and that. She's excited. She's ecstatic about this whole thing, that, saying that's cool or whatnot, because she even had told Oz earlier, yeah, the difference between you and me is that, she says, you got a dick, so you can basically advance in life. And I know this is like, basically my ceiling in this. But no, her father tells her this is what it is. Somewhere along the lines, I forgot how it happened, but basically she's with Oz, and Oz is like telling her, hey, that reporter keep hounding you and stuff. She's like, yeah. So she finally meets with the reporter, and the reporter shows, like, look, this is what's going on. These are the photos of the women that work at your, and all of them have in common, they worked at your father's establishment. And she's like, no, my father's a good man, he wouldn't do that or whatever. She's like, no, all these marks aren't being like they're hung by a rope. This is strangling, like hand. And 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 she's basically like, yeah, I think your father has something to do with this. It makes so much sense now if you see the movie The Batman. Because in the movie The Batman, when his bastard child, Selena Kyle, approached him, he was trying to kill her. He had his hands up, and he was trying to choke her to death. So the hangman ain't sweet Sophia. It's her trash ass daddy. And so after meeting with this, reporter, she's in the car with Oz, because Oz is her driver. And Oz is like, yo, you shouldn't be meeting with no people. But she was like, look, man, don't worry about it. I know the complications from this. Don't show nothing. It's her father's birthday. And it's her father's birthday. And next thing you know, Oz is like in the house. It's like, I hate to say this, it gives such slave type. That conversation gave like such slave type, because she saw Oz in the house, and she saw Oz in the big house, boss, and said, Oz, what are you doing in here? Like, what are you doing in here? And he's like, hey, you need to go see your father. Saying he needs to see him right now. So she's prancing along, going to see her daddy, and he basically starts lambasting her. Like, what are you doing talking to reporters? I gotta tell you this. Why you ain't talking to me? This and that. She's like, Dad, this woman is saying all types of stuff that you did and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, nah, it ain't this. It ain't that. Whatever. It's cool. We're going to handle it. They leave the party, and Oz is driving. Next thing you know, the boys in blue show up. Gotham PD's finest.
Hey, but even before that, there's a
Mm-hmm.
part when they're talking and she's like, "Hey," because I remember it said all these. Because remember, she's on the reporter was showing the reporter was showing her the pictures, and
Mm-hmm.
they all had similar marks. And
Mm-hmm.
also another key thing, she was like, "Look on their hands and fingernails. These is like they
Mm-hmm.
all were trying to fight to get away. These are signs of a struggle."
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
remember, it flashed back to when she was holding her mother's hand as she was being hung, and her hands were dirty and like
Dirty.
it's like
Yeah.
skin and blood.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, and then she puts one and two together, and
Mm-hmm.
she was like, I know because mom had him saying, look at her hands when she
Yeah.
was up there too, and he was like, that's at a point he was like, oh, okay, don't worry, we're gonna handle this.
Yeah.
And then they bump
Right.
into the police that of course that Falcone set up
Mm-hmm.
and Penguin set up, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. And going into just how Carmine
Such
does
a
not care
about nobody.
about nobody.
Oh, he don't care about nobody. And this just solidifies the trash dude that he is. Because number one, we already know that he set up Maroni. He set up Maroni in the Batman movies or whatever with
Yeah.
that. Now this dude has set up his own daughter, his sweet innocent daughter, that has done nothing wrong in the business, and she hasn't done nothing wrong, and basically pit 7 murders of women on her.
Plus the I mean, plus
Plus,
the reporter.
right, plus the reporter is dead now. So that's 8. That's the 8 women that died. And she's like, wait a minute, what? I ain't did nothing or whatever. So, she meets with the family lawyer, and Arturo is there, and he's looking like, yo, what the hell is, and she's like, girl, he's like, yo, I didn't do this. And she's like, yo, I think dad. And he's like, man, ain't no way dad did this or whatever. And then they the American justice system, yeah, they're gonna hold you in custody until your trial starts. Ain't no speedy trial. Ain't no speedy trial. They said, yeah, 6 months. So you're gonna be held in Arkham. She said, what? She was like, Arkham Asylum?
Yo, I'm not gonna make it, yo. Like,
Right. Yo, she straight up said it like, hey, I ain't cut for that. I'm not gonna make it. And then he gives her a pep talk. It's okay. You're a Falcone. It's gonna be 6 months or nothing. You're gonna have me running that place. It's gonna be okay. That woman was not built from that, was not built for that nonsense. They snatched her away and took her away, and they treated her like a prison, like going into prison or else going to county jail. They stripped her bucket naked. They daggone showered her down, and they didn't show it, but they implicated what else they did to her to make sure she won't hide in nothing. They put her legs up into some stirrups, and I said, oh my God. And then Rashad questioned, is it me? Or did it look like that thing ain't been washed that they used on her? Or
nothing looks sterile there.
nothing looked sterile at all. So they basically, just to make sure she won't hide in nothing or whatever. And she gets inside that prison, and she meets the head, doctor, whose name is Dr. Ventress.
Yeah, and then also Dr. Rush.
And Dr. Rush, who was his assistant, and that's the guy that ended up becoming her kind of psychologist or whatever in the thing. And she's just like, yo, y'all father put me up. She knows, yeah, my dad has put me here to die, to make sure I go here to die, whatever. And then on top of that, they tell her she's going to be confined to where she doesn't get any visitors at all for 6 months. And she locked up in Arkham Asylum, which is basically an insane asylum. Man, she was not cut for it. Carmine Falcone, may you rest in piss, nigga. That is horrible. And I'm saying it's like he's a real person, but in
You
this
really
show,
are.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm saying like he's a real person. I'm sorry. In this show, may you rest in piss. The fact that you are the reason that your daughter has become this person, that she is all because of your ego and because you thought somehow your daughter was I'm not. You could have killed the daggone reporter and been nothing, but no, you pinned this directly on your daughter, the woman that you wanted to be next in line to the head of the family. Yeah, man.
It's crazy, man. Like, and even the fact that throughout the entire episode,
Mm-hmm.
you can just see little pieces of Falcone controlling everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even the fact that how she was in there, she was going through shock therapy.
Oh
You know what
my
I'm saying? Going through
God.
shock
Yeah.
therapy. Her first day out on the mess hall, some random inmate is just not bound at all. No,
No.
ain't no chains on her.
Everybody else changed except this one chick. The
She's on
guards see her.
she's on my hangman. You killed them girls, the women. And
Sophia's like, she's not chained. Please help. Help. She is not chained. She is not chained.
yo, she was dumb trying to call for the manager, yo. Like
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And
and
that
this lady beats the piss out of her.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, right? You beat the piss out of her. After that, going to shock therapy, Rush was like, yo, what if she's actually telling the truth
Yeah.
about all this? And he was like, hey, you shut your mouth.
I'm 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 the head doctor here.
Yeah, I'm clearly the HNIC here,
Yeah.
and you just do what I tell you to do. So you can see how there's this the relationship formed between her and Rush because Rush kind of had her back a little
Yeah.
bit because even when he would go to, I mean, again, and I love. Okay, I'm skipping around. I
Uh-huh.
do love how they seed this relationship, even
Mm-hmm.
back from the other episode,
Mm-hmm.
and how we talked about like, yo, like I'm glad that there was no like any sort of like romantic,
Yeah.
twisted romantic relationship, and even go to the end of the episode when she comes to. This is almost like a fever dream. How
Mm-hmm.
they set it up when she
Mm-hmm.
wakes up and like they're like this close,
Yeah.
and she's like, you know what? I don't even trust you either. I don't trust
Right.
nobody. And
Yeah.
then just leaves him on red essentially, and then walks out. I'm like, yes, because I swear for the past 10 to 15 years, that trope has gotten on my nerves so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the worst part of Punisher season 3 with
Mm.
with Bullseye
Yeah.
and his therapist. But anyway,
You want to know what's one of the first shows to kind of recently shows that kind of ended that trope too. Uh, I know people hate the last season of Game of Thrones, but with Arya and Gendry, cause remember, she used him to get some booty. Remember she used to get some booty just to be like, hey, I got out of the way, we may die tonight. And then he was all like, oh, I want to make you my lady, I want to make you my wife, and she was like, relax. It happened. Whatever happened, happened. You're gonna be a fine lord, find a fine wife. It ain't gonna be me. I'll holler at you, girl. But you right about that. Um, let's talk about some other stuff that happened in this daggone Arkham Asylum. While she was in there, her first night, she is like losing it, and she has a cellmate neighbor, Magpie.
yo,
This chick is dingy looking, crazy looking, and is just talking to her the whole time. And like in the process, they are mentally breaking her down. They are breaking down Sophia because she's hearing screams and stuff. And she's like, is that all the time? She was like, nah, you'll get used to it. She's telling her, she's like, you're going to be my friend. The doctor says I need to make more friends or whatever. And like you said, that first scene when they're like in the they're in the mess hall. The first of all, I was like, what type of fucking food is that they gave? Excuse my language, but I was like, it was like some type of brown something with a chunk of meat in it, unrecognizable meat. And then you see the first time you see the actual drug bliss that I'm saying they want to use. The girl got so excited. Oh, they bringing the candy. And you see how like that drug basically like dissolve as soon as it hit their mouth or whatever
Yeah,
with blood,
yeah,
looking like blood. But after, her getting stomped out by the chick that, that was unchained, that beat her down, and they gave her some, gave her electric shock therapy. They like put her back, and next thing you know, they send her to the kitchen again. She's by herself with all these guards. They're seeing this, and then they bring that chick out, and she's bound this time. And they
Tony.
give
They gave her
Sophia
a fork.
they gave her a fork, and I was like, "Yo, are the guards about to? Is this like a cockfight type thing with them?"
Yeah, it
And then
is.
next thing, I was like, "Yo, what is going?" And then you see the doctor come peering around the corner, like, "Yeah, let's see what." And she's like, "Look here, stop it! I am not going to do this or whatever." And you see the chick, she's like, "Come on, hang man, hang man." And then you see she gets in her face, and she throws down a knife, and she finally like, "Make it stop, make it stop." And you sitting there like, "What in the hell?" And the crazy inmate chick, you see, she's tired of like going through whatever she's going through. She grabs the knife and starts stabbing her, not knife but the fork, and starts stabbing herself in the throat. Sophia's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And these people they're just sitting there watching this like, "Oh," and she's like, "What are you doing?" And when they gave her the electric shock therapy, did you notice after every session it was like, I interpreted this when she was like peeling the paint off. I think that was her insanity, her mind peeling away too at the same time. But what do you think about that, Rashad? Because she kept peeling the paint, and it was basically showing. Eventually, at the end of all the paint coming off, it showed like her room when her mother hung herself.
Yeah,
Saying,
their parents, her parents from.
yeah, her parents from, and it's like, yo, she's just there like chipping, like she's pulling the paint chips away. They're like chipping her mind, her sanity away. And like you said, that was
Good catch.
when Dr. Rush was like, "Hey man, I don't think she really did this or whatever." And they just kept going and going. And she even got to the point where she was looking at him when he was tying her up, and she grabbed his hand. It was like, "Please, would you stop this? I am not, I am not doing it." So at the end of that, all that torture that she was going through, she looks a damn mess. She looks disheveled. She looked crazy looking. And it's 6 months have been up. And they say, "Falcone, you got a visitor." She goes to see who the visitor is, and it's Alberto. And Alberto is just like crying, and he's like, "I'm sorry. I'm so," and she's like, "What?" She's like, "Yo, then you ain't getting no court case." She said, "No, no, 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 no. Y'all said 6 months. I've been in this for 6 months. I want my court case." I think what happened, all that torture stuff she went through the 6 months, it didn't break her the way that I think the doctor thought it was not going to break her or whatever. And basically, Falcone, Carmine, and the doctor and them basically was like, "Yeah, let's just keep her ass in there. We ain't got to worry about it." They kept her in
Yeah.
there for 10 years. She had to endure this nonsense, Rashad.
And yo, the crazy thing is she didn't
Uh-huh.
get out till her dad died.
Right, right.
So there's definitely some correlation between those two things. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably pretty sure that the Dr. Rush probably has something to do with it too, seeing how
Remember,
he left.
he
He
said
left.
him and Alberto worked together
Yeah.
to get her out of there.
Yeah. And you see that he actually left the prison
Uh huh.
before was able to get out. Because even when they was talking when at the end of the episode,
Mm-hmm.
when she was like, "Look, yo, you brought me here, you gave me fresh clothes, you making breakfast." You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? She looking like, "Yo, I trusted back when I allowed myself to trust against every fiber of my being, basically, and now." I
Mm-hmm.
was just straight. I ain't got no trust no more.
Yeah.
And then you can see like him trying to use his client doctor relationship
Mm-hmm.
for that trust. And like you can immediately seeing it going inappropriate. It already went inappropriate the last time they checked
Yeah.
him. But
Mm-hmm.
even now, she clocks it like, yo,
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. You want vagina. You want my crazy vagina, and I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to give you my crazy vagina. So
Mm-hmm.
this is how this is going to work. And just like the long con of that is like really crazy to me, and
Mm-hmm.
it just shows you and I know okay, all right. Some people would say like, "Yo, I hate how the media depicts men and how men act. Like a lot of men aren't like that, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of men are like that. Like,
Excuse me. Yeah.
like don't does not matter. And a matter of fact, I know personally men like that. You know what I'm saying? Like on some real stuff.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
like they like we need to be able to have some sort of I guess for these people out of the box thinking when it comes to these situations because a lot of this is just life and art imitating life and not
Yeah.
vice versa. You
Yeah.
know, so but yeah, like Sophia went through just absolute hell, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And what's crazy too is like, right before she came to, and that stuff you said happened with when because what's his name? Was it Chris? What's the doctor named Crush or whatever?
Not the rush.
Rush. I said Crush. Yeah, Rush. When he found her, the last thing he saw when she was heading back to the cafeteria when she was in Arkham, and when she was in Arkham, and Magpie was like, "Hey, you get to stay longer," and stuff, and she was just like, "Yo, are you part of this? Did you set me up to?" And she proceeds to beat the hell out of this girl and kill her in front of the doctor. And she's like, "I didn't do this. I'm not crazy," type stuff or whatever. So, you know, the last thing that she said to Dr. Rush after she came through, Dr. Rush gave her some fresh clothes, told her to clean herself up and everything, was Dr. Rush was like, "Hey, maybe you should go ahead and take your uncle's advice and go to Sicily. Might not be too bad. Just get a fresh start and whatever." And she's like, "You know what?
Hmm.
I think you're right. I do need a fresh start."
Fresh start does sound good.
Sound good. So what do we come to? We
Tony.
they having a fam
Tony.
they having yo, let me tell you something. Whenever there's a dinner scene in movies, some BS is about to
It's
happen.
never. I mean, from like
Never.
from original Godfather
Mm-hmm.
to Soul Food. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like it doesn't it does not matter.
it does not matter. She was like, so what I'm saying, the family is having a meeting. Uncle Luca is there with his wife and with his
VD.
with Vidi, her
Her
the
cousin.
daughter, the cousin that what I'm saying, they said they used to go to Italy and mess with
Yeah,
the
who
little
was
Italian.
also in the flashback with
Yeah,
her that was talking and stuff. This is
yeah,
before she had a child and all that.
right. And the little child is there too. All of them are there, and they're talking. And next thing you know, in comes Sophia. Sophia has her war paint on. She's all done up. She got what I'm saying, she got a yellow dress
Yellow
on.
dress on.
And like when she walks in, everybody just stops and looks at her. And I just love how she's acting. Vidi is like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "I'm here to pay respects to my uncle and the family." And she sits down and gets some pasta. "Can you hand me some of the meatballs while you know what I'm saying, while you at it?" And she's eating, and the uncle is like, "Yeah, the family's growing stronger, blah 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 blah." And then she's like playing with her cousin's her cousin's daughter. So that would be like her what second cousin,
Second cousin,
what's
yeah.
second cousin or whatever, little girl that we saw earlier in the episode, like 2 episodes previously, like playing with her, making faces with the food and stuff. And they're talking, and then she says, "I gotta make an announcement real quick." She was just like, since I'm going to be leaving soon, I just want to, talk about the family. And she basically is get ready to talk. And then the cousin was like, "Yeah, I'm about to take her to bed." She was like, she basically told her, "Sit your $5 ass down before I make change."
Yes,
But
she
did you get
did.
that? Yeah, she basically said,
Yes.
"Sit your $5 ass before I make change." And then she was just like, "Baby, go get yourself." She let the little girl go, and she basically read every last one of them for Phil. She said, "Y'all knew I didn't do this. every single last one of y'all, but y'all let me go in anyway. Nobody came to visit me except my brother. He's the only man that's ever given a damn about me. And these are y'all trying to make me like I'm a killer. And she pointed to the little assistant dude was like, he got more bodies than that was so indignant to be like, yo, you ain't nobody, but you got more bodies than me. I didn't do none of this. Basically, in so many words, screw y'all. I hope y'all burn in hell. I'm out this piece.
Hey, also, she was like, not only did like nobody help her, he said, and all of y'all wrote letters saying that I did it too. Like it was like because remember when they was back in the precinct.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody was signing off on like, oh yeah, I'm a character. Everybody, whole family full of
The
character
whole
witnesses
right.
against her. So
This is to me that scene and her speaking her mind is the perfect thing, as I always say about family. Family can be your best friend and your worst enemy at the same damn time. And that's exactly what they were to her. In the beginning, they was the best friend. She was the belle of the ball. They all loved her. But then when this stuff happened, and they was like, yeah, we gonna get her out the way, they daggone did Sophia dirty.
and I'm gonna tell you what it is. Like everybody, it's like being scared of the wrong thing. So early on, the whole city is scared of Falcone. Everybody's scared of Carmine. But the thing is, everybody should have been scared of Sophia. They just didn't know it. And Sophia, just like I say, Sophia's whole thing when she was in there was what, man, it'd be your own people.
Yeah, it'd be your own people.
And her people as that whole thing about family, we gonna do this together. All that stuff Luca was trying to spit at the beginning before he got cut off by Sophia. It's like that's what was like enraging her. You know what I'm saying? Which leads us to like our next scene, essentially. Go upstairs and she's smoking a cigarette in the room. And we don't know who room this is. She pulls up and puts the window up and and puts the blinds over it and then walks out. Cut to probably, I don't know, maybe an hour or so later. It's her and her little second cousin. He said, hey man, got some cake. You should just eat. Like, have some of my mom, man. Forget your mom, yo. Let's go out to the
greenhouse.
To the greenhouse, eat this cake and then talking. And she's like, look, man, having this little conversation where it's something like how her brother used to do was to come out here, look at the stars, and we used to come out, make up stories and go potty, whatever, do kid stuff. Yeah. He said we also used to come out here and we used to go to sleep out here too. You know what I'm saying? It'd probably be a good place to, just take let's get a little quick nap in, cousin. And she was like, I think I should go back in the house. She was like, it's gonna be all right. Let's just stick out here.
Remember what she said? She said, Mom said I shouldn't talk to you. She was like, she said, do we do everything? Like, me? Like, girl, I got you cake, girl. We cool. So they sleeping outside and it's like dawn.
It's morning.
It's morning. As we let say, so
now it's time for us to say goodbye.
Goodbye, baby. He wakes up. Sophia wakes up, and then little cousin's waking up. She says, shh, go back to sleep,
big dog. It's gonna be all right.
Sophia goes into the house, and next thing you know, you just see bodies on the floor. And you like, bodies in the floor. Right, I was thinking that the floor. The bodies are on the floor. And you like, what? And she goes into the little boiler room. That's the same boiler room that was
the Maroni
criminal was in. Yeah, right. Yeah. They was torturing the Maroni chemical in. This chick has poisoned the whole family. At first I said, is this carbon monoxide? It might be whatever it was. It was some type of poison she pumped in the whole house. She's in there walking around there with a gas mask, making sure everybody is dead and opening windows to fumigate the daggone house out. And you see like VD's little assistant dude that she played. You see guards. You see You see little girl's mom
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
there. You see Luca
His
pass out,
wife.
his wife, like they're all dead. But we get to one room. She opens up the window and she has a gun in her hand and she taps it. Person in it is Vidi. She didn't poison Vidi. I didn't see how that happened or anything. Like, I'm like, did she duct tape the door or whatever? Didn't see how that happened. All of a sudden, she said was, "Hey," and he wakes up and he's shook, and she's like, "We need to have a conversation. We need to talk." End of the episode. Sophia now is the crime boss of the Falcone family that she always, well, that she was promised to be. And man, let me tell you something. Right now, it's going to be all out war between her, the Maronis, and oh, she's coming for you, Oz.
Bruh, like I was saying, like I put a poll up on Threads. Shout out Threads.
Uh-huh.
I was like, who who's gonna control the drug now? Is it gonna be her, the Maronis?
Ooh.
Is it gonna be Oz? Or
Ooh.
is the drug even gonna come out? You know what I'm saying? Because like there's a
True.
possibility that everybody gets wrecked in a situation. Just
And
think about it.
don't forget the triads.
Yeah, yeah. But like they're not,
Yeah.
I don't even think they're gonna come back up. You know what
Right,
I'm
because they're
saying?
not the supplier. It's
Yeah,
dealing with
and
yeah.
they're not really essential to the story. Just they
Uh-huh.
was really there for to be honest for plot.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I like the dude that was like the underling. He did a real good job.
Yeah.
Anyway, they like I really wonder like how that's gonna happen because this poses so many more questions with what's going on now. Like, yo, so how is Oz gonna rebound? Who has Oz's back other than the prostitutes and Vic? Who got Oz's back? So he's
Right.
gonna so
Right, because I'm not
that
sure.
could that okay.
I'm not
So
sure about his men because you know he's
yeah, he
still
still
got
got
some
this,
as
but
but
they ain't
yeah.
pop up yet. Also,
Uh-huh.
Nadia Maroni was like, look, yo, we got the factory. So I don't know what we like, you didn't know, you didn't think. I love the Maronis because every time Nadia pop up screen, she's always like, you didn't think we know? You didn't think we already knew? Like we knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't think we knew? You didn't think we know about the drugs y'all making? We knew.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell
yeah. We got
I'm
y'all
gonna tell you
factory.
I'm gonna tell you why the Maronis to me are so dangerous. Salvatore is Italian, so he knows the Italian mob. His wife is Persian, so she's dealing with the Persian mob. So they got the Persian mob, and I guess their branch of the Italian mob working together. You know what I'm saying, for that one family. And good God Almighty, like you said, so she's ahead. She's ahead of the curve. And then too, now you got to see how many soldiers or whatever do also how many soldiers do Sophia have left with, you know what I'm saying, the remaining Falcone family.
Yeah, because she
And
just straight killed everybody.
right, she, you know what, I think she killed everybody that could have had a claim to the hierarchy
Yeah.
of
That's exactly what I'm saying.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
the only person that's left for all intents and purposes that has a Falcone name is like her and like maybe her cousin, her
yeah,
little cousin. But if she's a I don't even think it could be her because she's probably Falcone by
through the woman fan side of the
yeah,
family,
yeah.
not
So
the
like
man.
not
Yeah,
like it's not her dad's not a Falcone. So
right,
it's a whole you know, Jacqueline Onassis Kennedy Onassis thing going on. You know what I'm saying? So like
right.
I'm really like this episode was so good and so tragic. It
Mm-hmm.
was so sad. Like even the fact that everybody kept on bringing up her dead mom. Like they nailed that in from the beginning of the episode from the reporter,
Right,
from Dr. Rush,
right,
back when they was talking about the people in her family who
right.
basically ratted her. They said, look, yeah, having a dead mother can change a person. Like the whole time
They
it
did
brought
they did a complete 180 on that because I really thought what was going to happen was them saying, you know, because of the situation with her dead mother, that caused her to, you know what I mean, become what she is. And I really thought she was gonna be the one involved with all these killings or something like that. Like
Nah,
I was thinking it was gonna be
me
something.
too.
I'm thinking like
Yeah.
maybe these were all chicks that kind of find out had some type of relationship with her father trying to replace mom or something. Like maybe I'm thinking that
Ooh.
wrong were we. This girl is was a patsy.
Yeah.
She was a
She took
patsy.
the fall.
Yeah, she took
Definitely
the
took.
fall. She was Norman Oswald for the conspiracy theorist folk out there. She was Oswald,
Yeah.
and trying to find out, like I said, she isn't a monster, but she became a monster.
Nah, she a beast.
Yeah, yeah.
She a beast now, yo. Like the whole, like her whole plan was just
Mm-hmm.
it was such good television
And this
watching,
even goes
guys.
back to what the second episode when she was meeting with um with Rush, her psycho, and he was like, Sophia, it's okay. You're home, you're safe. She says, no, I'm not safe because I am home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw in the episode that, like, that definitely proved true. And of course, watching the flashback of her basically her villain, her villain
Villain
origin
arc.
story
Yeah.
definitely wasn't safe, man. Like I can't really exclaim anymore without peeking this mic just how good of an episode this was.
That's also it also this this episode also is a callback to one of in the Batman universe, one of the greatest quotes by the Joker. It takes one bad day for somebody to become a villain. It takes one bad day. And with her, it took one bad day for her to be what she is. Just
Hey
had to throw
man,
that out
that
there.
was
Yeah.
that's a good way to end it. I can't say anything better than that.
Yeah,
All
man.
right, yo. So what's today, the 14th? Man, we got a couple of things coming out. First, whew, hey man, we eating well. Agatha all along is has they doing their thing too. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
DC and
Yeah.
Marvel winning right now. Agatha all along Thursday at 7 p.m. for sure.
Yes, yes, yes.
We're gonna be checking out Gundam Requiem for Vengeance. Requiem's not a word. Requiem for Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Also on Thursday, we're gonna discuss and see if it's decent enough to talk about, and if it is,
Okay.
we'll talk about it. I don't know when that's gonna come out. I don't even know what
What
time the show airs.
it's supposed to drop on Thursday or
Thursday, yeah, I think so. I think
okay.
Thursday or Saturday.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's Thursday though, because Saturday drop is stupid. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll check to be for certain.
Okay.
And yeah, and then we'll get back with you all on that. If y'all do want that, just let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of us do watch anime as well. So, we be watching anime too. We just don't talk about it because, the
Everybody.
algorithm.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, like we appreciate y'all. Again, catch us on Threads, also on IG, as
Mm-hmm.
well as YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely YouTube. Hey, guess we got to 1900 on YouTube.
Whoop,
Let's go ahead and
whoop.
make it 2K.
Make it 2G,
Make it
baby.
2K so we can actually start getting some more watch time
Yes,
so we
yes.
can get monetized.
Right.
We're doing this for the love now.
Right. One thing, we're not going to probably review this show at all, but I like to sometimes, let you guys know some stuff that we are watching that isn't, we aren't reviewing that I think is good. Let me tell you something. The show The Bear on FX is really good. Like, I started watching it a little bit Friday night. By Saturday evening, I binged season 1 and season 2.
Damn.
Yeah, they're only 30-minute episodes. 30-minute episodes or whatever, but really good show. Season 4 comes out next June. So, next June 2025. So, you guys got time to, saying. So, I suggest watching. It's a good drama comedy, you know what I'm saying? So, it's pretty decent show. I understand why it's won so many Emmys and everything like that, awards. But yeah, good show. Something that just let you guys know I'm watching that, we aren't really talking about whatever.
Yeah, nothing new over here. Other than that, man, we will see you all Thursday at 7 p.m.